Hello and welcome. My name is Melissa, and today we're going to talk about how to free yourself from the fear of judgment. So, in my last video, the fear of disappointing others, which if you haven't seen it, I will link it down below. But one of the reasons most people are afraid to disappoint others is because they're afraid of how they're going to react or what they're going to say about them or will they judge them. First and foremost, I want you to know that this fear is absolutely normal, but it is also important to know that we weren't born like this. This is something you learned over time, and it's going to take you time to overcome it. But that's the good news. You can overcome it. That's my hope for you today, that you can take one tip away that will help you start to overcome this fear. So first things first, we need to pinpoint where this fear came from. Like I said earlier, you weren't born with this fear. It came from somebody. So I want you to go back and think, where did it come from? When did it start? Did someone say something? Did someone laugh at you? Was it a family member? Was it a friend? When did you start being afraid of what other people were going to say or think about you? Next thing we need to realize is that judgments say more about the judge than what's being judged. It's never about you. I repeat, it's never about you. What most people don't realize is that we can't see something in someone else that we don't have. So, for example, if I see somebody and I'm like, oh my God, that person's so controlling. I'm controlling. I'm super controlling. That's how I can recognize when somebody else is controlling. And while we're on the subject, it's a great segue to our next topic, which is try being less judgmental. Being less judgmental frees you from being judged. Every time you judge someone else, you perpetuate the cycle of judgment. Consider the example I gave you. If you judge somebody's clothing, then you're going to expect people to be judging your clothing as well. You're only afraid of being judged on the things you find yourself judging others on. The less you judge, the less you'll expect to be judged by others, and the freer you'll feel. The next tip is to replace judgment with curiosity. So if you're going to stop judging people, what are you going to do the next time you see something that's out of the ordinary? The best way to eliminate a bad habit is to replace it with a good habit. I suggest replacing judgment with curiosity. And actually, this is something that's a fundamental skill to have if you're a life coach, curiosity. Because curiosity dies in judgment. And that's how you know when you have a pro versus not, is because they don't judge you. They don't judge you, they don't tell you how you have to be or who you have to be. They're just curious and they ask you powerful questions. The best way to stop judgment is to make it less foreign so that it can fit better into your worldview. The only way to do that is to learn about it, and the only way to learn about it is to be curious. So the next time you see someone dressed weird, like, I don't know, wearing a live chicken hat on their head, don't stop and be like, oh, that's weird. Be like, oh, I wonder why they did that. I wonder why they're wearing a live chicken on their head. Give space to others to be who they are, and you will receive ample space in return. And my last little tidbit for you guys is to let them judge. Your life isn't yours if you're constantly in fear of what others are going to say or think about you. Thank you guys for watching. If you like what you heard, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and comment below what would you do if you weren't afraid of being judged.